Hey, it's Jeff Sanders, and welcome to the 5 a.m. Miracle Podcast. The new year is already underway. Are you ready? If not, I've got a plan for you. What I have is a set of critical questions that will help not only guide you towards choosing your next goal, but will also help you to stay focused and achieve that goal faster than you imagined possible. This is the 5 a.m. Miracle, episode number 374, the 5 critical questions of goal achievement. Good morning, I am Jeff Sanders, and this is the podcast dedicated to dominating your day before breakfast. How will this year be better than last year? How will you make more money or pay off your debt? How will you lose those pesky 20 pounds that never seem to go away? How will you build that business you've been talking about for such a long time? Or how will you go back to school and finally finish your degree? The answer to all of these questions is the same thing. The process is the same. The philosophy is the same. The individual steps, those are different, but those are just details. What truly matters is the structure, the foundation, the core of any grand goal. If you truly want this year to be better than last year, it's time to ask and answer the questions that matter most. Here are the 5 critical questions of goal achievement. Number 1, what is your specific end destination? Making more money is not a goal. Losing weight is not a goal. Starting a brand new company is not a goal. These are just vague generalities, pipe dreams, or even distant bucket list fantasies. Here's what a goal looks like. Increasing your income by 22% over last year, losing 15 pounds in the next 90 days, or finally submitting the paperwork for your new corporation 2 weeks from today. These are goals. They are specific, actionable, and clear. They motivate you to get started because you can visualize actually achieving them. Your end goal should be specific. You should be able to explain it to someone else in just a few sentences or even less. When you clarify what you want and you nail it down with certainty, you know exactly what to do next. Any goal that you have right now that isn't so crystal clear, you could tell me what it is, and I would know right away, is probably a goal that needs more clarification. Goals are not some distant fantasies. They're not ethereal dreams. They are specific and actionable. And when your end goal, your specific dream, is actually broken down to steps, and you know the exact final finish line, you know what it looks like to complete the project, then that's when you know it's a real goal. That's when you know it's something that can be achieved. Being specific is incredibly powerful. The more that you can clarify the specific steps of a dream, not just the actual end goal itself, but all the steps to get there, the more clarity you have on the entire process, and therefore the less scary it is, and the more achievable it becomes. Goals are not something to be scared of. They're something to strive for, to be inspired by, to want to pursue because they pull you into them, and you can't imagine not doing them. Those kinds of goals, they should be on your list this year. Question number 2. What is the most direct path to get to your goal? There are 1,000 ways to accomplish just about everything. So pick your path. Ideally, choose the path that moves you directly from where you are to where you want to be. Remove the obstacles. Avoid the tangents. Forget the indirect or possible or maybe helpful stuff, and get right to what works. Break it all down. Write out every step you can think of. You want to brainstorm what it might take to get you from point A to point B, or from A all the way to Z. Record every single step in your preferred note-taking application, your physical notebook or your digital one. Whatever you use, break down this process step by step, A to Z, where you are to where you want to be, and everything in between. When you organize your steps for efficiency and speed, you actually get yourself to the end goal so much faster. Most goals will have obstacles. Most big dreams will be delayed. These things will happen. So your plan has to make sure it not only prepares yourself for those things, but also ensures that you're doing whatever you can to move efficiently, quickly, and on schedule. When you break down all the steps to get from where you are to your end goal, yes, you get the clarity, but you also can see the pitfalls. You see the mistakes, and you see opportunities as well. Opportunities to move forward faster, to group things together in batches, to streamline processes, and even to get yourself to the end goal sooner because you see opportunities to bring everything together in a more efficient and organized way. It really does work when everything is on paper. The direct path to get from where you are to your end goal is a process, and all it takes is to write it all down and organize the details. That's it. It's really not more difficult than that. Question number 3. What is the most important metric to measure to ensure you are making direct progress? So it's one thing to think that direct progress is possible. It's another to know that it is. And when you measure the exact metric that you need to, then you're able to see in real time whether you're on schedule or not. It's great to have a plan, but if that plan is not followed, if that plan is not measured, if that plan is not adhered to and reviewed and double-checked, then what's the point of the plan? When you measure specific metrics, you can tell yourself at any point in the process exactly where you are. And for most goals, there may be one vital metric to measure, one simple habit to guarantee you're still on schedule. If your goal is a marathon, for example, you could record how many miles you ran last week. Or if your goal is to lose weight, you could record what food you ate and what food you avoided. If your goal is a job search, you could record the number of jobs you applied to just last week. Or if your goal is sales, how many leads did you pitch just last week? Last week gives you a lot of details. Last week tells you what you've done recently. And with that kind of data, then you know what to plan for next week. This kind of review process is essential to being productive, but it's especially important in the middle of a large and important goal. Knowing what to measure is the first step. But having a plan in place to not only measure that thing, but also make sure that thing continues ongoing until the goal is completed is a whole nother level of execution and efficiency. There is usually just that one habit that makes everything easier or even unnecessary. So track the progress of that vital habit. And while you're at it, track all of your progress. Record everything you complete. Prove to yourself you are making real, tangible progress. And then, of course, review all of that progress every week during your review. Big goals are really inspiring, but they require a lot of work. And a lot of that work can be avoided by simply having better systems. A review system can cut out a lot of nonsense. A great review can increase efficiency, batch things together, and keep you on track better than most other things. So if you want to make sure that your goal is still on track, that you're doing everything you can, and that those vital metrics are being measured, make sure you review everything at least once a week. And number 4 on our 5 must-ask questions of goal achievement. Number 4 is, when can you schedule consistent and guaranteed focus blocks of time on your calendar for this goal? Focus blocks of time are everything. What gets measured gets managed, but what gets scheduled in a focus block of time actually gets done. And this is the key to the entire system. What you want is to guarantee your own success, and focus blocks of time provide that. They provide that guarantee because they block distractions. They force you to focus, and they ensure that when you have that block of time set aside, you're going to make tangible progress. Now, of course, the assumption here is that what you choose to work on in that focus block of time is the next most important action for your next goal. And as long as your master list of all the steps is created and managed well, then your next focus block of time will guarantee you make progress. And if that continues week after week, month after month, amazing things are going to happen. It's really simple to skip an FBOT. It's simple to say, you know what, I scheduled that for myself, but I'm not going to do it because it was a meeting with myself. And those kinds of meetings are so easy to skip or reschedule or just never do at all. If FBOTs are not planned well, they are easy to mess up, which will slow your progress. So plan ahead for your own excuses and obstacles. Know yourself and your normal flow. Predict and prevent delays. Guard your time like it matters more than anything, because it does. Time is the thing. Focus blocks of time guarantee better time usage. And so your goal is to schedule focus blocks of time every week during your review period. Ensure that you have plenty of time to address what matters now. The first thing that I schedule every single week during the review are focus blocks of time. I want more of them as often as I can because I know that it works. I've done these things for years, and I keep doing them over and over again because they're so effective. Now, your biggest struggle here is going to be the focus part. A block of time is easy, but blocking distractions, that's a whole other challenge. If you've tried these in the past, but they have not worked, the thing to focus on this year is focus. Your number one challenge is to block distractions. Your biggest mission to make sure all of your goals happen is to ensure the obstacles are addressed directly. Get rid of them. Make sure there's a plan to eradicate them. And then when focus is possible, progress is possible. And then goal achievement is all but guaranteed. And finally, question number 5. How can you get started today? Not tomorrow, not next month or next year, but literally today. Starting a new project does take time. Asking and answering these questions takes time. So give yourself the time you need to get the work done. Schedule that FBOT. Plan your time to plan your time. Take just 10 minutes today, review your calendar, and guarantee your first FBOT to plan your next grand goal. Make this year the best year it can be because you planned it that way. You can make this year the best year ever if you intend to, if that is the plan and it's on paper, on purpose, each and every week. FBOTs are important, great questions are important, great reviews are important. Asking the right questions and answering them directly each and every week, that's everything. Ask better questions, get better answers. That's your mission this year. So one more time, let's review those questions. These are the 5 critical questions of goal achievement. Number 1, what is your specific end destination? Number 2, what is the most direct path to get there? Number 3, what is the most important metric to measure to ensure you're making direct progress? Number 4, when can you schedule consistent and guaranteed focus blocks of time on your calendar for this goal? And number 5, how can you begin right now? Not just today, but literally right now. How can you stop this podcast and begin now? That's your mission. Today's your day. The time is now. Let's do it. And for the action step this week. Wait, you're still here? Okay, if you're still here, plan a focus block of time on your calendar now to ask the 5 questions about your next big goal. This could take a bit of time, so be sure to block off enough to dig in and begin the process. Goal achievement doesn't have to be tough, but the process will be much easier if you ask the right questions and guarantee time for what matters most. Go to jeffsanders.com/374 for the show notes page this week. And that's all I've got for you here on this brand new 2021 episode of the 5 a.m. Miracle Podcast. Until next time, you have the power to change your life. And the fun begins bright and early.